You guys are going to know about the album soon. Soon. It's coming. Those music, those little soundtracks I play before. If you're familiar with my streams, or if you're not and you're wondering, what is that? What is that? Well, I'm going to let you in. There's a PlayStation game called Metal Gear Solid, and that's pretty much the only game I ever played. And it was actually last year I found those instrumentals and I wrote, well, I didn't even write. I just freestyled lyrics over it. And that song for the last year has been just sat there and slowly developing. So there's some music coming from Wisdom Culture soon. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're obviously in the second marketing season and cycle of what is going on, particularly with Wisdom Culture, specifically with our hands off sales department. And for context, what these streams are really just for me to home and house my content so my team can chop it up and post it all over social media right now as we enter into this new phase. But what I'm offering to the market right now is the hands-off sales department, which is essentially if you're a business owner and you're doing, or you've at least hit 100K revenue per month, and you believe that marketing's good, fulfillment's good, not to say it can't get better, but you know that there's problems within sales, or you're sick and tired of the churn rate of hiring new sales reps. Maybe you're also bored shitless of managing sales reps. Maybe also you're a little bit sick and tired of that cycle and that loop of expecting the next closer that you bring on your team to be the next best thing since sliced bread and then potentially under delivering. If you can relate to any one of those as a business owner, then that might be of interest to you. If you want to find out a bit more about that specifically, you can go to wisdomculture.biz, and wisdomculture.biz is where you can do all business with us if you're interested. But I'm very selective, and so should you be. You should be selective about who you work with. But to the point today, what I want to cover is the no pressure close, because what I have learned working with someone that's helping me with this marketing side of things, which is a way different beast and a way different animal altogether, is intellectual property. And I've had systems and what you could call intellectual property for years, and I've never really recognized it as something to trademark. I never really recognized the value of trademarking it or copywriting it and ensuring that my intellectual property can be formalized as a structure, a template, a method, a teachable system that other sales managers or business owners could employ into their business. And I'm going to cover some of what the no pressure close is all about. But before that, since I'm, of course, riffing always on these streams, what I covered last time was what we learned in the first 90-day cycle of marketing to get to this point where our offer is starting to come together, where the copywriting is translating much, much better than what it was. And more specifically, rule number 1, shut your mouth, know your role. So what specifically is it I'm the best at? What am I the fucking best at? And it's what I'm developing in this, and there's 3 pillars to it. There's basically the department itself. The department. Then you got the and then you've got the that's essentially right now what the offer is. We build you a hands-free, hands-off sales department, which means you just like, I'm going to keep this super simple, but if you're a business owner and you are sick and tired of all the bullshit that keeps coming up, if you're in this high ticket space, then we build your sales department. We manage 100% of it. It's actually very important you understand. You mind your business, we mind our business, but we collaborate and partner together. So you can focus on marketing and fulfillment or whatever that is. And I can focus on the sales department and I could run it with our culture, wisdom culture. And culture is something I truly believe you don't mix, particularly when it comes to business. And you've got different work ethics, values, principles, morals, codes, formulas. It makes no sense to work with people that have got nowhere near that level of specialty, and vice versa. I haven't got the know-how in marketing side of things. I definitely won't have the know-how in how to fulfill in your business or whatever your product or service is. How would I know that better than you? That'd be crazy, right? So first and foremost is the department we build. RACT is the blood that runs through our business relationships, which means roles, accountability, communication, and trust. This is my IP. This is my own intellectual property. I'm not someone that's regurgitating information from books. Otherwise, it'd be fucking embarrassing, to be honest, to be calling myself or to be calling my organization and brand Wisdom Culture and to be regurgitating what any other people out there are saying or doing. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. And when I talk about wisdom culture, I'm actually talking about knowledge earned from experience. And the culture side of it is the collective understanding and mutual purpose and method. And there's so many different things with culture, but your culture is your work environment, is your principles towards work, is your relationship with yourself, your team. I'm not going to go into too much about what fuck culture is, but this in the second pillar, RACT, is one, it's what's causing pretty much all ALL problems in business right now. Unless you're a transactional business, unless you're simply just transacting and you work in fucking Walmart or some shit like that, and you just go in, you buy yourself a fucking Snickers bar and you walk out. Transactional. There's not much of a relationship involved there. Unless you're doing that. All the other business that I'm ever talking about in actual business, and if you've got any experience in business, you'll know it's all down to relationships and roles, accountability, communication, and trust is a principle with those 4 pillars in it. And if any single one of those is out of alignment or not performing, you are going to experience the problems in business. That's how it works. Typically, all of it links in. All of it links in. There's no favoritism with any one of these points I have. However, communication is one of the biggest ones in business. You get the communication malfunction and breakdown between individuals inside the team that takes fucking ages to get anything done. It takes fucking forever to get any shit done because no one knows how to communicate and talk directly. And that's often because it's not always the case, but everything links. People don't know what their fucking roles are. Hence, number 1 line in my fucking song. Have you ever been told to shut your mouth? Well, have you? Yo, shut your mouth, know your role, is a mantra. That's a sincere, actual mantra. Shut your fucking mouth, know your role. And if you want to know, that's what I speak to myself also. That's not just how I'm speaking to individuals I do business with. And it might not come out in that way, but the energy and the essence of it is shut the fuck up and know your role and focus on what you're supposed to be doing. Again, the age-old saying and principle of mind your own business. Mind your fucking business. Shut the fuck up and focus on what you're focused on. Knowing that solves, not because there's 3 other pillars, not all of them, but it solves a lot of problems. It solves a lot of problems. And when you look at your role, when you know it's your role to be accountable, communicate, and have trust, first of all, in yourself, so others can trust you. But you have trust in other people to do their fucking roles. You have a great team. Unless you're in a solo business, unless you like to do everything on your own, unless you like to just sit there and masturbate in your fucking basement and you don't like human interaction, you're going to be working with people. And that's important to understand. So this system, I can't tell you about. The same way I can't tell you about what the fuck food tastes like. You have to taste it. You have to experience what this is like for you to realize how fucking insane it is to not understand that. First and foremost, if you do not understand the RACT principle, best of luck to you. Yeah, best of luck to you. Not interested. Not interested in anyone that's got a fucking closed mind. Not interested in anyone reads the same fucking books that everyone else is reading. Oh, have you read this book? It's called Ego is the Enemy. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up about books. What you're applying every day throughout the week is the only thing that matters. That's the only fucking shit that matters. Not knocking books, but the principle of also what wisdom is. It's experience. I'm not against books, but where the fuck's everyone talking about their own experience? Where the fuck are you? Where is everyone? What the fuck's going on? What's actually happening out in this online market is everyone's regurgitating the fucking same shit. And everyone's talking the same garbage. And yeah, I'm here to make money. Make no mistake about it. I'm here to make a lot of money. It's going to be earned money. Yes, please, result of service. However, I'm here to do good business. I'm not here for all the other bullshit that everyone else is fucking focused on. Not everyone else. And any single time I say that, yeah, I'm just fucking communicating in this animated, expressive way. Of course, that's not everyone. I'm not a moron. I'm not foolish enough to think I'm the only one that understands this. But this is my own IP. Don't fucking come and talk to me as if you understand this. This has been built not only from it's from my life, typically 31 years, this life at least, not to mention the thousands of years before here. But this is actually my relationship with my partner, my woman, which is like 13 years. 13 years in September that's just gone. And I figured this system out, how important this system was. And then like any principle, it's universally applicable anywhere that you apply it. So again, I'm not going to go into detail of that because I'm going to speak about this mostly today at the top, the no pressure close. But this is obviously what the offer is right now. The department, the structure and the way that we work. That's why our department and our working culture is going to be unmatched. Good luck. Good luck. Seriously, good luck. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't beat me. I'm not saying you can't compete with us. I don't even see it like that, but it's good luck. Good luck if you don't have systems in place. Good luck if you don't follow principles. Good luck if you don't understand how to preserve 95% of where most people's energy gets spent, which is in thinking rather than doing. Good luck competing with us. Good luck. Now, the final thing, wisdom. That would also link to, like, why me? Why Charlie? Why wisdom culture? What's different? Well, first and foremost, if you are trying to actually achieve something in your business long-term, sustainably, you want to build something that stands the test of time, that even just stands alone, you need wisdom. And the wisdom is in all the characteristics and the behavior that enables you to scale, actually scale, not have these rapid growth spurts that cause all this pain and these problems and you cycle and you churn. No, that's not scalability. That's growth. That's growth for sure. And mistakes have to be made. Mistakes lead you towards mastery. But wisdom is when you've made a lot of mistakes, and you know what not to do. Wisdom is also based in the principle of how we do business. Wisdom is also what you can't get from a fucking book. And you have to experience it. And you have to be a little bit older than 20 years old to get it. You know, and not to say that you can't have this when you're 12, 11. I was an incredibly wise young man. And more I think back to it. But you can't skip time. You can't skip the element of time. And the wisdom of making thousands and thousands of mistakes enables you to know the simplicity of what not to do and what to do. And you have to make mistakes to do that. You have to, quote, fuck around and find out a little bit. So working with wisdom culture, why specifically? Well, if you actually want to achieve our aligned good target and goal or whatever the fuck that is, for me, if I build you a hands-free sales department, on the offer, it's to stabilize the department for one, to secure 50% at least cash down and 45% close rate. That's our minimals. We want to push past that, but we actually want to ensure that business owner never actually has to lift a finger again. Not in the way that most people. This is why I've had such resistance with marketing, because 90% of the market are talking shit. They're just writing stuff and it sounds good and it looks good, but they can't fulfill and they can't sell either. So you end up looking back and go, hang on a minute, I was a little bit misled here. I'd rather fucking undersell. I said this last time. Undersell all day, over deliver. It just requires wisdom. I can't talk about it. You have to fucking be around it. You have to understand slow is fast. You have to understand the principles that enable you to scale sustainably. You have to understand the RACT principle is going to enable you to move in sync, to move in a parallel cadence to your other departments. But each department has their own type of work culture. You see this in businesses all the time. The guys that are in the warehouse to the office block, for example, aren't the same. Even just think about the office. They're not the same guys. When you get those guys that come up, they're boisterous. You know, and the people in the office are a little bit more suit and tie. There's different cultures. You don't let those mix too much. So why is it what most people are doing? And when I say most, I'm always talking about the 90-10 rule. 90% of people in the market are trying to mix cultures. They don't understand. It's not necessarily a sales, marketing, or even fulfillment problem. It's actually a leadership problem. It's actually a lack of mistake problem. They haven't made enough mistakes yet. They're figuring it out. There's a lot of younger people. And for the record, I don't see myself as old, but I'm no longer the youngest in the room. I'm actually in that middle zone, if I'm real, especially in this online market. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're focused on. And this stream, I'm going to break down the no pressure close method. Because if you do resonate with any type of earning money, if you are a business owner, if you are looking to get into sales, if you are in any way, shape or form, even interested as a human being in becoming a way better communicator, sales is fucking unbelievable to do. And even if you're not at all experienced in sales, have you been sold to? Have you bought anything? And I would ask yourself the question, what did it feel like when I bought something? I'm not talking about something you can buy online in the comfort of your fucking pants. I mean, someone's there on the other side, quote unquote, selling you. And did you feel pressure? Do you resonate with the stereotype of sales professionals that have sleazy techniques and methods, and they're just hard to take seriously? If you're in this field at all and this is great for you, what I'm going to cover today is going to teach, quite literally, the no pressure close, because I'm going to first of all isolate. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it, mate. Yeah, let's fucking do it, mate. Yeah, so let's isolate two things, two circles. So pressure, no pressure, right? See how much time I have, but pressure, no pressure. Forget about the size, doesn't really matter. But if you're into etymology, which is the origins of language, the origins of word, you understand that in pressure is the word press. Press. So let's just start flowing, yeah? Yeah. Get your notepads out if you haven't got them out already. And there's quite a few people watching already in many different areas of this stream. I've got it going to Rumble, to YouTube, to X, and I've also got a secret platform where I've got a massive, everyone wave. Yeah, they are. They're waving. So I'm in Serbia right now, and I've gathered together a load of people the other side of this glass. They can hear me through an intercom, and they're on the other side of this glass. They're from Serbia, and they're watching this British guy talk, and they're paying me for it. So let's keep talking. Yeah, press. Etymology of pressure. Press, to be pressed. Don't press me. You know, like, oh, I felt like he pressed me. You know, that pressure, that's not a good thing. Press. When you press someone, that is pressure, right? When you even press something, it's pressure. It's pressure. When it comes to sales, let's first of all just find some common ground here. When it comes into you handing over and investing what could be a real significant amount of money, the last thing that you want is this: pressure. And how amazing would it be to take, I don't know, 10, 15, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K onwards, 100K, 200K. How amazing would it feel to be able to do that with no pressure? Rather than pressure, which comes from, by the way, faggotry, weakness, lack of skills, lack of integrity, morons, people that don't care, impatient, just want to get the sale, fucking assholes, if I'm honest with you. Those type of people can take money, sleep like a baby, even if they've sold something that maybe they shouldn't have sold. There's enough of those people out there. I don't fucking blame I don't blame in general anyway, but I wouldn't blame anyone for having this stereotype that sales professionals can be a little bit sleazy. I've seen it. This year alone, I must have done like 400 call reviews. But this pattern that I see, there's some pet peeves of mine. And I would say in the first 60 seconds, if people even get fucking there, man, shit, fuck, 60 seconds. If you allow it, you impatient cunts. Shit, man, it's going to be super passionate today, yeah? Because this is my fucking stream now. This is Wisdom Culture stream. This is me not representing anyone else. This is just Charlie. And this is how I speak. But you know what pisses me off? It's the first 60 seconds of a call is, and I might have said this on the last one, but this eagerness to get, hey, you want to just dive right into it? You want to just dive right into it? Now, there's a context where that can make a lot of sense and that can transfer over. And context is everything. Without context, you don't have communication. Without communication, You don't have comprehension. Without comprehension, you're just talking shit. So you got to understand the context. But let's say, for example, if you're selling to a consumer, not a business owner, a lot of where I've done the call reviews and the bullshit in that first 60 seconds of people to not even bother to make a connection with someone. Fucking ghastly. So I'm gonna give some words that relate to both of these, right? Pressure, let's say rushed, right? Not heard, rush, not heard. This is all things people with shit sales methodology, and they're following the advice of people that, I don't know, like I don't even want to fucking say. By the way, don't follow me. Don't listen to me. Don't let me tell you shit. Yeah, figure it out on your own. See if it works for you. But I know that any time that I've ever taken any money from anyone, never have they felt rushed or not heard. Pressure. What else would that come in? That would be rushed, not heard. Pressure. You also get, I would say, imbalance. I talk about karmic balance a lot. There is a benefit to someone putting down as much money as they can, but without it disturbing the balance of what the fuck that they actually have. Karmic balance. You don't want to just pressure. People talk about, yeah, pressure's great. Yeah, pressure forms diamonds. Shut the fuck up. Again, shut the fuck up. Garbage, cat shit flies out of people's mouths because they don't have the discipline to control their tongue and realize what they're saying. Pressure creates diamonds. First of all, I don't know the top of my mind, but I bet you diamonds aren't what they fucking are commonly perceived as. I bet you not that they're not these rare fucking things that are built under pressure. I bet you diamonds are fucking everywhere. So I'm bringing this up because the diamonds or pressure forms diamond statement. I can't, it doesn't even go through me. It doesn't even harmonize. There's no fucking resonance to it. Pressure makes diamonds. Yeah, like fucking, what are you talking about? In what context does this apply? And I'm saying this because people's mentality is this. Yeah, but pressure's good, right? You work under pressure, that's good, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah, a little bit. Sure. Yeah, too much pressure, meaning you take someone's fucking life savings, they haven't got a penny. And what's happened is that they've been told, oh, you'll make your money back in a couple of weeks and you'll be earning money. But they're under a fucking shit ton of pressure. And more importantly, they have to do some work to start to see that change. This is where it all gets sleazy, pressury bullshit. It's an imbalance. So not heard, rushed, imbalance. I wouldn't even say. I'd say definitely this. Definitely selfish. 100% selfish. If you don't have the ability to actually listen to a human being, by default, you're selfish. Because listening is not. It's got fuck all to do with us. How would I know? How would you know, Charlie? Well, say what you want. Say what you want. I'm actually an expert in listening. I know what people are thinking out there. Cool, he's a fucking expert listener. Let me just tell you a little bit about my experience. With human beings, someone that's naturally empathic like me is a guy that people come to. This happened yesterday, last night. My life is this several times a week, regardless, because this is how the universe works. I'm the guy that people come to and they open up to. They don't even know why a lot of the time, but they're opening up to me. This is my whole life, forever. Yeah, as a toddler, I was supporting my mum. This is how deep this goes for me. My listening skills over my life experience have come from listening to people that are addicted to drugs, listening to people in general, being in a room and not being the one to talk, being in scenarios under unbelievable levels of stress and pressure, and having to listen, having to be the most patient individual, literally have an experience non-stop where I would be listening to someone for like 8-9 hours straight. People going through hard times in their life, 8-9 hours. I'm not going to speak about too many specific examples. But this listening skill was very natural to me. And I realized most people don't have listening skills, which is why they resort to all this pressury, selfish bullshit. They can't listen. They don't understand what the individual's saying. Therefore, not seen and heard. Well, that's a human need. That's a human need. They've done an experiment and a test with this where they took a baby. Some of you might even be familiar with this. And the woman or the mother was that fucking thing. It was the task to not emotionally express anything through her face. Yeah, so the child who was playing peekaboo or whatever, and this is important because all we are is grown-up children. That's all we are. And you got to understand the roots and the origins of fucking human beings. And the infant, after a minute or so, where this mother was not making any other facial expressions and she was being dead straight, the baby started to get very uncomfortable. It started to feel the need to like move away, to cry, to get fidgety. You can watch this. This is something you can just easily search on YouTube or whatever the fuck it is. But my point is that baby wasn't feeling seen or heard. And that baby, in a matter of minutes, displays the most authentic version of like what human beings want to do, which is leave and get away and go to somewhere they feel safe. So when you're in sales, if you can't make a human being feel like they're being listened to or heard, it's fucking over for you, unless you're selling in pressure, unless you're selling with tactics and you're using methods. And two things happen. One, your prospect isn't smart enough to realize what's going on. Even if they feel something, they're not smart enough to realize what's going on. And that could be because they're early in their investment journey. The only people that are able to sell this garbage, shit, weak leverage are people that work with prospects that haven't invested too much. Because when you start to invest more and more and more, you realize how cautious you have to be with your money. Because people will say anything to get money from you. So all this pressure, this selfishness, this not being able to listen and hear human beings is a natural gift. And why did I say I was an expert? I'll tell you another reason why. Like when I say an expert, I don't necessarily identify with anything. I don't give a shit about labels. But what people call experts in fields, I'm an expert in listening. My ability to understand human beings. That's my natural gift. Fuck sales. Who gives a shit about sales? Fuck sales. But why was I being told, Charlie, you're a salesman. Charlie, you're a therapist. Charlie, you're a counselor. Hundreds and hundreds of times before I even focused on sales. Because I was listening to them. And I was hearing things. And I was making them feel seen and heard. Second thing is music. When I was a DJ, that quickly got me into production. That quickly, when you explore those areas, I was sound engineering. Little fun note, I was actually, for one gig, sound engineer for DJ Luck, MC Neat. Shout out those guys. That was a fucking hilarious night. With a little bit of luck, we can make it through the night. I was sound engineering for those guys one night. But I was in that field for ages and I trained my ear. And if you're a musician or if you are in any technical field where you have to train your ear, you'll realize that you are playing audio and maybe 1 in 100 people can hear what you hear because you have to be attuned to hear it. In sales, I call these buzzwords. When people talk about their pain or their problem, there's a buzzword that they'll use. It'll be a painful or a problematic word. If it's not, if they say something like freedom, well, it's the absence of freedom that they don't have, which is painful. So there's many different factors in this. But in this pressure world of selling, you're not skilled enough. You're not emotionally intelligent enough. And you're likely these things. You'll rush. You don't give a fuck about them being heard. You think you will by the book, again, because you've read a few books and you've gone through a few trainings maybe with people, or you listen to very unethical, unaligned leaders or managers, if you want to call them that. But you're selfish and you're imbalanced. And that's where pressure selling comes in. No pressure, right, is slow. I'm going to say methodical, right? Listened, curious, pet peeve of mine. Pet peeve of mine. I don't give a fuck who says this. I don't give a fuck about Jeremy Minor. I don't give a fuck about Alex Hormozi. I don't give a fuck about anyone else that tells you to ever act confused. I will fucking die with that on my gravestone. Never act confused. How about that? How about that on my fucking gravestone? Because there's sales guys out there making millions, teaching people to act confused. Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. This is why I have got to come into this space and revolutionize and pioneer it and raise the bar for everyone. It's the same way my mind going into anything would raise that bar. Any area, any fucking field. Because people are fucking stupid. But the people that are there leading in said field are just because they're leading in said field. There's so much stupidity going on in politics, in healthcare, in every single industry that you can think of. It's all inverted. It's run by demonic fucking morons. And it's not too far different from people that are teaching people. And I haven't necessarily got a problem with even Jeremy Minor, Alex Hormozi, or anyone that talks about this stuff. I don't necessarily have a problem with them. I have a problem, though, with the let's shortcut getting to the root of what this fucking is and understanding truly wisdom, experiencing, understanding what it is. And let's treat people like dumb cunts because we don't think they're smart enough to understand what we're saying. So we're going to use these pressury, sleazy, bullshit, act confused type techniques. Fuck those guys. Yeah. Slow and methodical. Listen to them. Curious. Not curious as an act. Not curious as, oh, hey, use the method of being curious. No, how about you be a genuine curious individual? How about you be curious next time they try and bring the fucking jab out? How about be a bit more curious? How about ask questions? How about open your fucking mind to what actually happens if you don't? Well, if I ever go through my life blindly and never ask any fucking questions and just get my head in the sand? If anyone was paying attention, anyone that understands this is paying attention, you know the answer to that. You know the answer. You know what happens if you bury your head in the sand in this world, on this earth, in any field. Fuck sales. Yeah, there's a looping point I'm going to bring it back to. The no pressure close, yeah. But it's 5-10% of what it actually is. The 90% is what? Understanding human beings, understanding yourself, self-awareness. This is how you can fucking close deals with no pressure, because you're curious. You're genuinely curious about people. If you're not curious about human beings and you get into sales, you shouldn't be in fucking sales. The same way if you're not into fucking food, but you're working in a kitchen, get out the fucking kitchen. That's the way that I see it. If you're into politics, but you don't care about actual democracy and serving people, get the fuck out of politics. That's the whole point. The whole point is to actually pinpoint, why am I here? I'm here because I'm curious how we can help said individual prospect change the problem that they're facing. How? Well, potentially, if I get a clear idea of what they genuinely need and there's urgency to change it and they want to do that, they've decided to, for me to even connect with them, they decided to get on this call. So they've decided already that something might fit together for them to have a resolution to their problem. Maybe. But be curious. Not fucking, I'm going to put that one up there for those pressure dickheads. Yeah, confused. Act confused. Don't ever act confused around me. If anyone's ever on my team and I hear if I ever see anyone act confused on a call, I'll fire you immediately. You won't be working around me. Because if you ever fucking sell with any of this stuff, I know you're not worthy in being in the top 10%. It's not hard to get in the top 10% when 90% of the market is shit. It's not hard. But it is if you're a moron and you can't fucking slow down enough to listen to a human being, to have genuine curiosity. For the record, you wouldn't be anywhere near my teams. For the record, I'd spot this well in advance. But my point is, this whole fucking stream is going to get chopped up into clips. And this is the fucking game. Be curious, slow and methodical. Listen to people, right? Actually get clarity. This is one of the other biggest problems people are having. Why they can't close deals? Well, because nothing's fucking clear of what they're buying. No one's clear. You know, you've gone through your process. You've gone through your process. You've had your little presentation. You've pitched them for 20 minutes without letting them fucking say anything. And then you're like, oh, do you want to do this? Where's the clarity? Where's the order? Where's the structure? If you want to know more in detail about specific lessons, because I'm generalizing loads of different things, if you want to know more, you can watch hours and hours and hours of me coaching over on my other channel. Let me just put that on there quickly. You've got, you can go there, wisdomculture.net, wisdomculture.biz is my specific business stuff. But to the point, you want to sell, and you want to sell with no pressure, curious, slow and methodical. I would just say that's patience. Again, if you're into etymology and you understand the origins of words, patience has the word pay in it. When you want to listen to someone, it's so you can keep them engaged also. Yeah, engagement is what? Them paying attention. There's no random coincidence. Oh, that's just a coincidence, isn't it? No, it's not. That's not how the nature of reality works. This is why I say fuck sales. Fuck sales. It's not focused on sales. Hey, what's sales? It's not Wolf of Wall Street. Fucking great movie. Great movie. And that's a form of it, or was, or is, and the omnipresence of that. But fuck sales, like as you perceive it to be. And if you don't understand it as human nature, I'm making decisions all the time. People are making investments every day, every week. What is a sales professional able to do very well in order to get that sale across the line? And more importantly, what are you selling them? You're selling them on an offer or a product. So if your product or the service that you're offering doesn't deliver when they buy it, you didn't really, you made a sale, but you didn't really, in my ethics and principles, you didn't really make a sale. You didn't really make a sale. You took someone's money. There's a very big difference. To me, the sale is like sails on a boat, and you're sailing, plain sailing from here. Not really, but the point is you're moving along. A great sales professional will take someone from interested, I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested, to I'm involved. I'm in it. I'm inside. And you'll do that in a very efficient way with no pressure. Yeah, zero pressure. Zero fucking pressure. Zero. None. How do I know that? Because I would never, ever, ever convince, chase, or tell someone anything on a sales call. And I even frame with that. I'm not here to convince. I'm not here to tell you. I'm not here to even sell you. What I'm here to do is collaborate with you and understand the situation you're in right now enough so we can get to the bottom of what the problem is. And then if it does make sense for you, it's on your terms. If it does make sense for you, then we'll explore if what we have fits into what you need. And if it does, great. How does that sound? question. Another thing. Ask. So I'm about to go into the real meat and bones of what this is right now. I'm going to go into the real meat and bones of it, but there's a massive difference. A massive difference. Here's wisdom cultures. No pressure clothes. This is my intellectual property. This is what I've learned through, yes, sales, but how to stop people from ending their life, how to stop people from taking drugs, how to stop people from fucking harassing other people. The amount of scenarios where these skill sets have come in handy for me is unbelievable. Fucking unbelievable. If you have any idea about where I come from, fucking hell. These skills have stopped me from having my fucking jaw broke, has stopped me from being, I guess, yeah, I mean, the amount of times I probably could have got fucking, not because I instigated anything, it's because I was in environments where people were looking for fights. I was in environments where people were looking to make a name for themselves. What I had was a lot of these skills. I would listen to people. And when you feel truly listened to, you actually feel it. I had this literally last night. What did he say to me? He goes, and they say it, and sometimes some people don't say it straight away because they're going through it and they've never had space. But the guy I was with yesterday was saying, Charlie, I really appreciate this, by the way. This has been kind of a blowout. And like people do this and they're like, wow, fucking, I hope you got something from this, Charlie. And there's always a way I take some value from it, but they don't realize that they've just opened up. And it's because I've been able to cultivate the space to listen to people. Like I said, this has stopped me from being in danger. I've actually stopped myself from being fucking, potentially maybe even stabbed. Who knows? Like stabbed, beaten up, arrested, being in the wrong place, wrong time. I remember I was in, if any of you from the UK, you'll know Brighton. I was in Brighton once. I remember something kicked off and it was all a little bit blurry, but I remember and I've had this a few times, as soon as I see that there's like police there, I can shift into this mode of someone that listens, someone that's slow, methodical, that asks questions, that's curious, that's clarity, that can maintain my energy. I was always very good at grounding myself. But this is what enables me to sell in the way that I do with no pressure, because I understand human beings, because I understand myself. I know what to ask. I'm genuinely curious. This is probably one of my biggest problems why I never earned any money before the age of 29, truly, is because I was too fucking curious. I was out there asking too many questions, not asking them the right questions maybe, and never really focused on money. So I'm going to go through how we do this, but this in the method that I'm going to go through is actual intellectual property from my experience throughout my life in those scenarios as I describe them, but also people that have been on the prospect side of a sales call with me, students that I'm coaching, many different ways. I'm going to go through this now. So again, shout out to anyone that's in the chat. Shout out to you guys over there. Still tuned in? Great. Yep, they're waving. Got your drinks? Cheers, guys. Cheers. Fucking piping hot. All right, let's go into this then. Let's start with some ground rules. So if you got this far, if you've been listening this far in the stream, this is where you're going to make your money. This is the money shot now. This is where your cash is earned. So pay attention. Make some notes. This is for people that are closing deals somewhere. Closing deals. And this is the rules. Yeah? Rules. Always, rule number 1 is shut your mouth, know your role. It's always just a rule, yeah? And in a sales professional role, you are there to steer the conversation, but you're not driving it. You're there to steer. You're there as a sat nav. Yeah, you're there as a sat nav. That's the guy I was just talking about, messaging me right now. You're a sat nav. The rule number one is shut your mouth, know your role. So understand what you're not there to do. You're not there to convince anyone to do anything. You're not there to persuade. There's none of that. There's forms of communication that help realization, but realization is the key. Your role is best understood when you self-realize what you don't do. And what you don't do is these things, right? Never tell. Always be asking. Here's why you never tell anyone. And if you're in sales, this is a golden nugget of a sentence to remember. If you're ever telling, you're never selling. If you are ever telling, you're never selling. What does that mean? Naturally, no one likes being told what to do. That's the first thing. No one likes being told what to do. Facts. Yeah. It just is what it is. The second point to that is when we tell someone something, I'll give you a couple examples. Hey, you're a really good fit for this. That's a tell. I think you'd be great for this program. We could definitely take care of that for you. These are all tells. I'm telling people stuff. We could definitely take care of that for you. You'd definitely be a good fit. This telling, it just has no leverage. There's no power to it. There isn't any. And the reason is because people are smart enough to realize, and this is what happens when you don't read energy. This must be, I feel sorry for people that don't understand energy, how to read a room. Because you're missing out on fucking 95% of communication. But the point is, when you start telling someone something, psychologically what happens is the circle's not there anymore, but it's that pressure. They're being pressed because they're being told. Now there's pressure for them to like either Darren Brown hypnotist talks about this. There's normally a few things that's happening when you're being hypnotized. You're either deeply in it, like you're genuinely deeply in the hypnosis. You know, none the wiser. That's a very receptive type of human being. They're the best people to hypnotize. You got the people that are kind of half in it, but they're not too sure. You know, they're aware of what's going on, but they're not too sure, and it's just kind of happening. And I'm paraphrasing this, but the other side is people that aren't hypnotized, but for the sake of it, sometimes they go along with it. Say you're on a stage show. The stage show is a lot of pressure here. I feel a little bit seen or circled out if I don't go along with the show. And there's that. And when you are telling people in sales, when you're telling them things, I think you're going to be a good fit for this. I think this program is great for you. Hey, we serve you everything you need, or whatever the fuck people are telling people. You get some of those reactions again. Some people are like, oh, okay, and they go along with it again. Those are really, really naive people. Really, really naive people. Most part of the other side is people will recognize and realize that you're saying things that they haven't necessarily said. And even if they're not conscious of this, what they'll feel and think about, their psychology, their mind might be like, this guy's trying to sell me something. This girl's trying to sell me something. Okay. you know, like not really doing much, but quite neutral. Okay. What they're also thinking is, you're not understanding me. There's many different things that they go through without a real. I could call this out as I watch it live. I love call reviews for this reason, because I pause it, and when I do a call review for someone, I'm like, can you see this facial expression here, this emotion? You feel how they like shifted there a little bit. It's because what you just said there made them feel a little bit uncomfortable because you're telling them something, for example. So it's really, really, really easy for me to do it live, to point something out for someone. But in this general stream, I just want to highlight this: never tell, never, ever, ever tell. This is how you close deals without any pressure. You have a rule: if I'm ever telling, I'm never selling. And where this comes from, again, lack of skills, lack of resource, lack of ability, lack of good leaders, lack of good managers, lack of good coaches, the actual internal before sales, fuck sales, forget all that. Who are you as a human being? Some people just love to tell. And I've seen a lot of rebuttal to that. Yeah, but Charlie, don't you have to tell them some things? Well, let me say this. Occasionally, if someone says, hey, how many hours training a week does this program have? You can tell them the answer. This is different. If they ask you a very specific question, ideally when you've given them the opportunity to, and they ask a very specific question, you can give them a specific response. Yeah, these are components of common sense, or what I would call sales instinct, that you need to have that fits in all the gaps. You don't want to fucking appear like a twat, this robot that doesn't like leave his framework. It's stupid. Fucking stupid. The people that do that are fucking annoying. Where did I have that recently? Just small things. I think Amy the other day went to a restaurant. She's like, the only thing I want on this menu is on the kids menu. It's like chicken tenders or some shit. And they were like, no, that's for kids. And it's just like one of those computer said no moments. Like, can't figure it out. No, I can't do it because the button won't let me. The button won't let me. Stupid shit. It's such an important rule to drill into yourself, to never tell. But here's how you can also, quote, tell someone something without telling them. Hey guys, I'm thinking of a number between 4 and 6. What is it? I just revealed to you I'm thinking about 5. I never told you. I asked. This is where ABA comes in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these pillars with what not to do and what to replace it with. And this is how you get it done. Never tell. And watch people sell. And watch them when they get into this mode. They don't realize it. This is why you've got to have patience. That's why you've got to be grounded. That's why you've got to be self-aware, for one. That's why you've got to practice in your life saying what you mean. If you don't practice this all day, omnipresent consciousness, that I don't say things I don't mean. I'm very methodical and specific about what I'm saying. There's different contexts of humor. There's different contexts and different rooms I can speak to. This stream is a form of it now. But I'm very convicted in everything I say. I watch this stream back. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Everything I say, I believe in. Everything I say, I know. Everything I say comes from my fucking heart. I speak it. Even when I say fuck these other guys that are telling you to act confused, the day that they go, Charlie, what's this clip about? Like, what do you mean act confused? I'll be like, well, I understand the context of what I'm talking about. Context is everything. Don't try and pull me out of context. But the point here is I want to highlight this problem and come in with a solution here. Never tell. So always be asking. This is why you ask. This is why. Because they'll self-realize. Again, if you don't give a fuck about sales, fuck sales off. Can't say it enough. Who gives a shit about sales? Yeah? Boring. This is about human communication. This is about understanding the fundamentals of what a human psychology goes through when they're responding to sound and light, which is words and questions and tone and all the forms of communication there are. Self-realize is the most powerful form of sales for two reasons. When someone self-realizes, they put money down from a place of empowerment and realization. That's way, way more effective for the onward progress of that individual in said program or service. That's fundamental rule number one. That's business secret number one that a lot of these morons don't understand. Why? Because they're fucking too quick. Take money, take money. Shut the fuck up, dickhead. Shut up. Shut up. This is the passion. Fueled with this fire in me. I'll tell you why. Because the motherfuckers that are building my skyscraper and they're rushing it are going to have a big problem on their hands the day that comes tumbling down. Yeah, but we wanted to get it done quick. How about get it done properly? How about get it done safely? How about get it done effectively? How about fired? Fired? How about fired? Self-realize, man. When you can help someone self-realize how, always be asking. Oh, let me ask you a question then. Because I want us to both be on the same page. Would you say that you can afford to stay where you are the next 6 months? That space here, no one's mind is there. No one's specific mind. That space, this is where a good listener comes in. Hold space, motherfuckers. Shut the fuck up. How about that? How about rule number one also is shut the fuck up. Rule number one is actually shut your mouth, know your role. But it's shut your mouth. Shut up. Let people, when you ask them questions, let people come to it. Oh. Because what they're psychologically doing, which is actually a different dimension of their entire existence, is they're coming to realize, again, etymology, real eyes see self. They're realizing themselves. To my question, I can't remember exactly what it was, but say the question is, do you feel like you can afford to keep doing what you're doing for the next 6 months? When they say no, when they come to that conclusion, they do, and they say, no, I can't. They are going through their own psychological journey to self-realize. So they have space to look for it. This is I'm gonna bring in, because it's very, very relevant. If you have a dog and you want to reward your dog by finding things around the house, like you hide things around the house, and you want to reward your dog when it finds things, because what you want to encourage is the training and the behavior that dog gets rewarded for finding things. What does that do? Well, maybe gives the dog an opportunity to be a drug sniffer dog. Or maybe it's one of those dogs that sniff out when someone's about to have a seizure. Very specific training for these dogs. Now, let me tell you what won't happen to that dog if you do this. The dog will never get better at doing the task you want it to and you want to train it towards if you become impatient because it hasn't found what it's looking for yet and you just go and give it to them. This is where patience and space holding is the most important skill to actually help someone come to their own realizations. You better be patient and you better realize, and if you want to do a test, hold your breath for a minute. Yeah. Hold your breath or fall for 7 seconds. You realize how long seconds are. And when you can't control your fucking mouth, because you're too busy talking, when you've asked someone a question, you've asked them a question, then you go, and they forgot the question and never got to self-realize. And I say this randomly. I say this because I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing stupidity. And this is, again, beyond sales. Fuck sales. This is me and my life. This is seeing how very fucking few people truly have listening skills, have the ability to hold space. It's fucking annoying. It's so annoying to be around that all the time. Because when I've seen this before, you get someone that's like really going through something. And if you tuned into this stream at the start, you hear what I said, where my background was. When someone starts to go through something, they start to open up. The worst type of fucking individual in that room or in that moment is the individual that tries to disturb or disrupt it. Those are the worst fucking types of cunts to have around you. Stupid morons. Sometimes boys or guys just need to fight. Yeah, they need to fight out. For example, it's just an example that comes to my mind. They need to fight out. And the worst thing you can get sometimes is a fucking annoying woman that tries to get in the way of it and makes everything 100 times worse. And you get all those people in the way. How about shut the fuck up, step back, give the boys the space, and just let them go at it. Just like, we'll get through it faster. The energy will calm down faster. But people can't control themselves. And this is happening all the time for people. But when I see it in sales, it's because people don't realize the power of always be asking and never telling. So when you're always asking, always, everything's framed as a question. You're coming from a place, if you are, because you should be sincere and integral, but it's genuine curiosity. I'm not here to, I'll never assume anything. I'm not here to assume anything. People use that word a lot. I see that also used in sales. Would it be fair to assume? How about shut the fuck up? How about, look, I want to confirm. Would it be fair to assume? No, it's never fair to assume. Don't assume anything around me unless you confirmed it with me. Because I know how annoyed I get if I don't feel like someone's able to listen to what I'm saying. It's infuriating. So if you are on the other side of a sales call with me, it won't feel like a sales call. Put it that way. It's going to feel, it won't feel like therapy either. It's just going to feel like a conversation that we move the needle on unbelievably efficiently and quickly. Interesting is the paradox, slow is fast, because I'm slow, I'm methodical, and I listen, and I give the space when I ask a question. So do you really feel like you can afford to stay where you are and not change anything for the next 6 months? And when they come to the, no, I don't stop there. I don't go into telling mode. Yeah, I agree with you. You can't stay where you are for the next 6 months. That's a little bit crazy. If you do, you run the risk of X, Y, Z. I don't say that. It's not powerful enough. It's just me saying shit. It's not them saying anything. So if they say no, potentially follow up with a question. Again, another question. Help me understand why, though. Help me understand it. If you don't mind me asking, why change it now then? And they're going to come to their own self-realization because I'm asking them questions and I'm going to give them space. And if they don't understand the question, I'm going to see, or they're going to tell me, I'm going to rephrase it, but I'm not going anywhere until we together both self-realize. We co-realize. Oh, that's interesting. Because what I spoke about in the frame at the start of the call is collaboration, cooperation. That rule there is one of the strongest pillars for no pressure closing. And if you want to see this live in action in many different ways, again, you can watch hours of what I've coached and spoke about with this live. And I've done this live with the open mock call rooms in the other channel. Again, the other channel it's on Rumble. It's Wisdom Culture, but you can find things here. But I've done hours of this, and I've covered this, and before I wipe that off, never be telling, because otherwise you're never selling. Always be asking. Always, always, always be asking. Because another thing asking does is it keeps them engaged. If you get into telling mode, you can quite easily lose their attention because you're just telling them a load of shit. If you're always asking them a question, make sure your questions are powerful, efficient, effective, needed, necessary. And if you're always asking them a question, step by step, they're going through this process, becoming clearer and clearer and clearer why this is what they're going to do. And they're going to make a decision at the end of this call because you framed it like that. There's many different things I'm not going to talk about in detail here, but that's your number one no pressure close principle to remember is never fucking be telling motherfuckers. So let me wipe that off. Okay, so another thing, if you want to learn to close without any pressure, what helps a hell of a lot is to because I'm free to do whatever I say. Detach from cash. Fucking hard for a lot of people. It's to detach from the cash. Meaning, forget about the sale. Forget about the sale. If you're truly, truly there and you're there to serve and you're there to listen, you're there to understand, you're there to solve problems, you're there to challenge, and you're there to do what you're supposed to fucking do, you maximize the likelihood of the investment coming. So you need to trust in the formula. And the formula is the time and energy you spend on that call, 45 minutes to an hour. The energy that you spend in that zone is going to be maximizing your likelihood of getting the result, which is cash. However, if you are attached to the money, you'll get all of that pressure bullshit come up again. And you won't be derived from the most sincere, grounded place because you'll be focused about what you're going to tweet next and what's going on your fucking Instagram the next day and what you're going to talk to your fucking stupid cunting friends about when you go, yeah, closed 4 deals this week. Shut the fuck up. Saying about closing deals. Closing deals is very closely behind the other thing, is serving humans. I hear so many people's minds going crazy here. I am not scared of money. I'm not scared of money. I also very much respect and value the need and the reason that an investment is required for someone to make a change. However, it does not sit at the top of my priority list. The individual that has the money, the prospect that actually has the money, invests money for a service or a product. You could even say produce. Something needs to be produced for them, right? If you don't focus on serving them on the call, what the fuck are you doing? Same thing. Where are your fucking principles at? If you ask here, what's wisdom culture? What's it like to work with wisdom culture? It's the internals of this. It's this. Yeah, this is needed. This is my fucking calling from God. Because everyone out here is a fucking amateur. Is too busy focused on that. Yeah? That comes as a result of this. Sure, you might earn quicker money. Sure, you might quick money. Yeah, quick cash. Sure, yeah, you fucking get your quick cash. Get your quick cash, mate. Yeah, get whatever the fuck you need for you to feel good and flex, and do your stuff, and you're good, and you're telling people to act confused. Yeah, do what you like. Fair play. But if that isn't top of your list, you're also not in alignment. This isn't even religion. It's got fuck all to do with religion. I've just recently started using the word God, but it's got fuck all to do with religion. It's got to do with the universal laws and the nature of reality. And for us to earn things and get things, we have to give. We have to serve. It's arguable that we are here, all of us, we are here to serve a purpose. Some of them, when I say them, some of them on earth aren't like everyone else. Yeah. Those are people that are hidden right now beneath companies, and they're behind the curtains of the banking system. And if you want to go down those rabbit holes, have fun. Have fun. Like the earth is an interesting place. When you truly understand what we're on land, the earth is an interesting place. Not everyone is the same. But if you're listening to this stream, you're likely not a satanic, non-compassionate, doesn't have the ability for empathy type psychopath that needs to be hung, I imagine. Though, again, this is going out on Rumble. This is a fucking thing. This is the thing, yeah? This is why I came to Rumble, but this is also going out to YouTube. So something like that is probably a strike there and then, because I can't fucking speak. We'll see what happens. But my point is, this goes so deep. This is why I'm always talking about it. It's always the internals, yeah? As within, so without. It's always the internals. Internal. Where's your mental state at? Where's your emotional state? Where's your spiritual state? What is your state? What is your condition? And are you on that call because you're there for money? Or are you on that call to serve a human being? You've got to ask yourself that question. And if it is to serve a human being and you do it effectively, you don't want to be, this is the line to draw. You don't want to be a fucking pussy and you don't challenge anyone. And you're like, well, I just want to serve you. And, it's completely down to you. And you can make your, and you did a fucking shit job at challenging them. I'm willing to go to the fucking core of someone's soul if I need to. I don't care if they like me either. That's not what serving humans is about. I remember not being a fan of fucking the woman that I remember I got my hand cut open. I wasn't a fan of the woman as she was injecting me with some bullshit disinfectant numbing agent so she could stitch my hand back together. Wasn't a fan of her at that moment. But man, did she serve me. Fucking hell. That's what great sales professionals are also good at. They're good at detaching to serve the individual on the call, and they're not scared. And I've seen a lot of fear also with this. This likely comes from a broke mentality. You're scared you lose a sale. It's stupid. It's a lack of experience. It's foolishness. When you're serving the human being, you might be the first one to be like, look, John, I really appreciate what you're sharing with me, but it all sounds a bit too good to be true. And I'll give you a reason why I say that, if you don't mind me sharing. Sure. Well, you're here on this call because you're looking to improve and solve a problem, right? Yeah. Well, for the last 5 minutes, I've just heard you say that there's nothing wrong. Everything's going okay. So why are you here, John? Well, there's a few things that things can always get better, and this and it's like, John, what I'm actually asking you, I'm really appreciative that you're going along with me with this, but it's for me to get down to the bottom of what the real problem is. And for us to do that, if you agree with me, wouldn't you say it makes sense that we both align and identify what the root problem is here? Otherwise, what's the point of continuing this conversation? That's just an example at the top of my mind. But that's challenging, John. Why? Because I fucking care about serving, John. John, I can't serve you if everything's fine and dandy, and I'm not going to go through the next fucking 45 minutes with you going, yeah, it's all great. Oh, John, you're doing an amazing job, and blow your fucking ego up even more. Why are you here? Respectfully, why are you here? And if you don't have that ability to challenge, you're not serving. This is why you also got to look out for who the fuck you spend your time with. Again, forget sales. Who's around you? How many of your so-called friends challenge you? How many of your so-called friends, would be really raw and honest with you and saying, do you know what you're doing right now, like, isn't going to help you and the family. I think what you actually need to do is pull your finger out, get some discipline, man up, and have some structure in your house. I could say that to a fucking lot of men. Here's a message to all men. Stop being a fucking pussy, with all due respect, to pussyfoot around the woman in your house and wonder why you haven't got all the structure and everything that you need. Don't be the guy that's scared to disrupt your wife's mood. Don't be the guy that's scared to disrupt the wife's mood or her preference, because what you want to implement that you know is the greater benefit to yourself and the family is a little bit inconvenient at the start. So you're like, oh, okay, I won't go there. Hey, I'm your friend, John. You got to tell respectfully and communicate with your wife. I'm going to be very professional now. But you got to communicate with your wife, John, that for you to be at your best is the greatest asset to the family and her. And for you to do that, you need the structure. The kids can't be up at all different hours. So you can't have this chaos in your house. These are real life scenarios I'm actually using right now. I'm just not using anyone's name. But I see that all the time. I'll be someone that's doing everything I can to serve the human beings around me. And it comes from challenging them. And when I challenge a prospect, bringing it back to sales and closing, when I challenge a prospect, I can do that with conviction. One, because fuck sales again, forget sales. Before sales, I had to ask questions to challenge their belief system for them to see themselves in a different way. But really, I'm detached from the cash. I don't care. Or if I challenge this individual, I might lose a sale. That's the biggest fucking load of garbage, cow dung, fucking shit that I've ever seen in my life, is that I better say the right things. Forget about right or wrong. Get out your judgment. How about effective, ineffective? How about you just understand the game? I'm here to serve this individual. And for me to do that, this is another one. These are real life examples, yeah? So if you ever wonder, like, why has this guy got so much passion? Why is he saying so much? Because I watch this hundreds of times every day and I see the same fucking mistakes, which is great for me, actually. It's actually great for me because I'll fucking clean this whole market up when I get going. This whole market will be swallowed up like hungry hippos because everyone in the 90% that isn't in the top 10% is trying to imitate the top 10 percenters. Well, I'm in the top 10% by default. And what I'm going to bring awareness to the rest of the 90% is the principles to ideally, wherever I can, influence that marker that people understand the principles and not mimic the exact, without understanding context, the exact method, technique, path that said individual took to try and do the bullshit that you think you need to do to get to their level. If this is making any sense, you'll see this everywhere. Imitators. And there's nothing wrong with imitating as you're learning things. I think it's one of the healthiest ways to learn. But the problem is when you're not understanding the fundamentals of what it is. And in sales, for you to be detached away from the cash, to be detached away from the money, you're in that state, you're in that condition, energy filled, that enables you to serve, listen, be patient, slow, and methodical. If you've watched the stream, you see that what's come up on the board, what I've wiped off, what I've got rid of. It'll make sense. Those things start to come into your ability for service. If you don't, because you're attached to the cash, you have just really weak aura. Just, some people would call it in sales commission breath. They know when you're just trying to take money from them. It's like one of the worst things a prospect can ever feel is that this individual just wants to take my money. They'll say anything to take my money. There's a lot of those sleazeballs out there. And they will. They will literally say anything. They'll say anything to take your money. So you've got to be aware. So if you want to learn to close deals or influence human beings, help your friends. Yeah, this is all about no pressure. when you're detached from the cash, if you want, you can even say, hey, John, look, I'm going to be very frank with you, John. I don't really give a fuck if you invest in this. This is a very extreme version. I don't give a fuck, John, if you invest in this. I don't know if that surprises you. It's not really interesting to me either. What I truly care about is in the allocated time I have with you, John. And right now that looks like an extra 30 minutes. If we can't get down to the bottom of what a problem is and what we do, if that does not solve your problem, legitimately solve, not theoretically cross our fingers and hope, if me and you both don't understand that we can't reach a resolution today, I'll be the one to end the call. Because I want you to understand that your money is not what we need. What we need is, first of all, a problem to fix. Second of all, an individual that understands and aligns with the problem that needs to be fixed and believes we can solve it. And then thirdly, for that said individual to realize the real difference comes from the charge of the investment. So that's way back here, pillar 3. First 2 pillars are way more important. For you to be charged, John, that charge, like when you charge your phone, is energy that you put into this program so you actually work toward the solution, or insert whatever the product or service is. But this is so you're actually charged and energized. You have skin in the game, or however you want to phrase it. That charge is an actual transfer of energy to us. So we're energized for you, John, to do our half. And because you've put 10K in, John, of your time and energy, ultimately, what is that to you, John? What's 10K? Well, that's 3 months' work. Well, does it make sense, John? 3 months of your work invested 10K into what we resolve here. Does it make sense for you to do that when you look at the long-term profit, benefit, return? I've got no product in my mind, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But does it make sense for you? Yeah, absolutely does. Yeah, by looking at the metrics, yeah, I can earn that money back in the first 10 months. And then from there, I can go on to increase my monthly profit by 50%, whatever it is. I totally see that, Charlie. And it makes perfect sense to me, and I want to do it with you guys. Out of interest, John, why? Likely because it's not on my board, but John self-realized he didn't feel pressure from me. I actually pulled it away from him. I pulled it away from him. And I didn't pressure him. I didn't press him. I didn't put him on the spot. I actually challenged him. I'm detached away from the money. I also fundamentally understand why the money is important, but I don't focus on it. I focus on, because I actually have a conscious. There's a reality where some people can actually just take money and just fucking crack on with their life. When I sell John and I go through that process with John, I'm keeping an eye on John. I want to make sure John actually gets his fucking money's worth. I want to make sure John's showing up. I need to make sure that John, as we discussed on that call, 12 months from now, is a fucking amazing success story. That's what I care about. Fuck your money, John. Yeah. I don't know where you're like, yeah, okay, cool. Charlie, like transparently, elephant in the room. Charlie takes some commission from that. Yeah. What did I invest it in? Probably to fucking do what you did, John, to improve a situation that you were in that you could no longer deal with, and you know you needed to change. So what was yours, Charlie? Fuck knows. Who knows? Maybe it was marketing more. Maybe it was new equipment. Maybe it was insert anything that makes me go from where I am today and take any step closer to where I want to be. That's the only thing that matters to me. Money moves, money circulates, money should always be moving. So you can't get fucking attached to the cash. This is, again, the biggest second pillar in the no pressure close method. The first one was never tell, always be asking. Never tell anyone, always be asking. Second, detach from the cash. Yeah, serve the human, run a good call, and learn to do that authentically. And twofold here. If you're a business owner, if you are a business owner and you're managing sales reps and sales is not your specialty and you're getting them to follow a script, there's so many things I want to say. If you're a sales rep, inside my mind, I said a lot of things. And it was along the lines of, stop being a fucking idiot. How about that? Stop being a fucking idiot. Secondly, if you're a sales rep and you know you're good, but you don't have the freedom, to sell from your heart in the way that you would like because you're being micromanaged and you have to follow scripts. You have to go through their process and they're not even experienced in going through the process themselves. Get out whilst you still have a chance. Get out now, guys. Get out, yeah? Come to me today. Today. I'm not saying right now, and I would love to, and this is what I'm working towards, I would love to put you in one of my departments. Because if you go to wisdomculture.biz, and I'm working on this, I'll be the first one to say marketing is not my strong point. Yeah, it's not my strong point. I'm really good behind the curtain. I'm the guy that actually has done the fucking work in business for the last 16 years at least, working, grinding, experiencing, skills, everything. Bomb, actually doing it. Fuck marketing. People that are really good at marketing are good at marketing. That is a skill for sure. But most of them are really good at marketing and not good at fulfillment and sales. So there's always almost like the somatotypes. You're always dominant in one area. My worst area is marketing. I'm unmatched in fulfillment when you work with me, and I'm unmatched in the sales process when you work with me. I'm just learning to market. So what I'm saying to sales reps is, if you're a sales rep out there and right now you're like, shit, I want to get off. What Charlie's saying is resonating with me. I want to get off the fucking team that I don't feel I can grow on. I don't feel like I'm earning money. I also don't feel I'm from my heart being myself on this call because I'm following their script. Connect with me. Because the day that I do have these roles, I run everyone through training, by the way. Everyone's vetted and anyone's screened that anyone that I work with. That's another thing. People are very quick to just hand referrals out. Referrals. When I put my name out there, if I'm gonna refer you to any other team, which I wouldn't do because it goes against the model and the solution to the market, and I'm providing that you're gonna only be on my teams. But let's just say this, for example. If I'm gonna put you on my team, I need to fucking be able to vouch for you. And that requires a lot. You can't just come to me and ask for a role. Secondly, if, for example, for whatever reason, that you don't work on my team or you've worked on my team and then you decide you're going to the next level, whatever you want to do, and you want me to vouch for you, then I'm very, very cautious about that. Very, very cautious. There's a guy, shout out to Jackson. There's a guy called Jackson that's a great contact, an unbelievable contact in the high ticket sales space at finding people roles and offers. He's the basically head offer hunter from Closing Bible. And the reality is, bear with me 1 second. Yeah. The reality is Jackson is someone I can refer people to, but what those people have to do before I refer them is pass a few tests. Like that is the only thing I can relate this to is like old old mafia or gangster movies. Like when you've got someone's name, you represent their name. When you borrow money from someone, for example, it's like, you pay that money back. There's all this, it's culture. There's all this principles, morals, ethics, or his name. If I send a shit rep to someone, doesn't matter if the rep's not me, I sent them. It represents my standard. This is also everything the wisdom culture stands for. Standards. Actual standards. But to loop it to the point, and I'm coming to the end of this stream, to loop it to a point, if you are a sales rep in that space right now, definitely connect with me. Because by the time I do have my department set up and I have these roles available, it's going to be such an unbelievable work culture. Because I'm going to run the sales department and I'm going to work with a team, and we're going to be separate to the business we're actually selling for, which doesn't mean I don't, for the record, I will work very intimately and closely with the business owners. That level of communication is crucial. But when it comes to the typical working week, I can't reveal all here, but it's a culture like no other. I'm going to teach you the rep system. I'm going to teach you how to do at least 3,500 reps, body weight stuff, whether it's even this, always something with me. I'm going to teach you how to do 3,500 reps every single week. And that is going to maximize your energy flow. It's going to teach you systems. It's going to help you understand the law of never counting past 10. These are all like very esoteric. Call them secrets, call them what you like. But when you understand these, they will immediately. So I said I don't deal with anyone in the lower 90%. I'm in the top 10%. This is going to move people up to the 10%. So the people on my team are only top 10%ers. And if they do not continue to follow procedure and protocol of the systems that enable you to perform, they're no longer on the team. So if you're a sales rep right now, reach out to me. Don't fuck around. Yeah. Or keep doing what you're doing. Maybe you're one of those amateurs that likes to fuck around and cold call random motherfuckers and be on a shit offer and not make any money and keep doing what you're doing. And you're like, well, I'm Charlie, you know what? I'm not looking to invest in anything right now. Good luck for the next year doing the same shit that you're doing, letting everyone take fucking abuse and taking the piss out of you and working you for months, not earning any money. But you think, well, this is how it is, isn't it? No, it's not how it is. It's very far from how it is. And if you ain't willing to invest in yourself, that's a big problem. You deserve to be at the bottom of the list. You deserve to be at the bottom of the pile. If you're not investing in yourself, what does that say about you? Sincerely, like if you're not able to invest in yourself, what does it say about you? You want to be in sales? You want to be in sales and you want to get other people to invest in themselves, which is ultimately what it is, but you've never done that and you don't want to do that? Shut the fuck up then. This is the standard that I'm bringing. It's a different work culture. It's not for everyone. Good. Because most people are shit. It's for the people that understand that when you get into a different flow of business in the working week, and there is no work-life balance, you just understand how to sustain and cultivate energy, I guess, over a longer period of time to achieve your goal. There's no work-life balance. And you work on that team and you can sell from your heart. You can sell with no pressure. You're detached from this cash. You're serving people every day. The business owner fucking loves you. Why? Because we're printing. We are making money. And money is being earned. Why? Because we're doing such a fucking good job at what we're doing. The culture's great. You know, there's levels to leadership. It's one of the biggest things right now. There's not many leaders in the space. There's people in leadership positions, but they're terrible leaders. They don't know how to serve a team. The first question I'll be asking my team is, how can I make your lives easier? Yeah, I'm not some dictator. How can I make your lives easier? I'm going to ask you all the questions to make sure that you're in the best possible position to win. Why? Because if you don't, it's easier for me to kick you off. That's why. It's a different animal altogether. So yeah, those are the rules. That's the no pressure close. If I was going to add anything else, I could talk about where the close actually is and the close zone, but I'm not going to do that today. Those pillars are more than enough. Are way more than enough. And truly, there is a massive gap in this market. There's a lot of problems. If you're watching this stream, by the way, so to the 3 people on Rumble, to the 2 people on YouTube, to the obviously audience I have with me over here, everyone raise your drinks. You're still with me? Yeah. Amazing. If you're watching this, what I would appreciate is what you take from it. Does it feel like sales coaching? Does it feel like life advice? Does it feel random? Does it feel entertaining that this guy's just fucking riffing and speaking what he's speaking? Let me know what you take from it. Good or bad, I don't give a fuck. Impartial both ways, good or bad. Because what this is intended to be for me is in the specific subject of business online with Wisdom Culture and what we're doing over at wisdomculture.biz by building hands-free sales departments for people, because I'm filling a gap in the market. But what I'm also making very clear, as I did several times throughout this stream, like any law, like it's 5 or 10% of a little bit of understanding of sales, understand principles, structure, be on the right team, the right offer, some more of this businessy stuff. But the rest of it, the other 90%, is all about self-awareness. It's about who you are as a human being. It's about the self-work. It's about the real deeper internal shit you need to face in yourself, where your principles are at, how much you challenge your friends, how much are you likely, if you challenge your friends, you've got less of them. That's normally a golden rule. If you've got lots and lots of friends, I've got so many friends, likely you're not challenging them, and likely they're not really friends. I could be wrong. I'm not someone that's going to stand here and say, hey, I'm right about absolutely everything. No, I could be wrong. But the culture that I've mostly been around and the cultures that I've experienced and human beings as a culture is the people that have more people around them, they're less genuine. They're disingenuous. That's what I've found. But yeah, I'm looking to extract, and I speak about from experience first and foremost. I'd never ever speak about anything I've not experienced and I'm not experiencing, and I'm not qualified, whatever the fuck that means, to talk about. But it does bug me. It does bug me. Beyond sales, human beings that are out there, and doesn't bug me that they earn money, because everyone works. But when you see the people mostly that have a lot of cash, and you see, yeah, like if you're not familiar with this space, you won't realize the names. But guys that are just, they're literally copycatting other people's sales methodology. This is why I've learned a lot working with this marketing guy. I don't know if he's comfortable with me sharing his name. I'm just going to call him G. And G said to me a few weeks back about intellectual property and how powerful that was to me. Because I wrote a book when I was 21. I never released it, but I wrote a book. It's like 60,000+ words. That was to do with a self-improvement philosophy. Everything I've done in business has always been principle orientated, universal laws, systems. And I realized, wow, I'm sat on all this intellectual property that I need to capitalize on. And more importantly, wisdom culture means what it says. It's a culture of wisdom. It's actual experience that's been earned from doing it, from fucking up, from failing. That's the thing. I'm not scared of failure. I've fucked up so many different times. I've gone through many different projects and pursuits and businesses and being an employee, being a business owner, paid staff, being a staff member that's being paid. I've been like everywhere in business over the last 16 years has taught me all these skills and all these mistakes that not only mistakes that I've directly made, but you can learn from other people's mistakes around you. You can see what they did. That is fucking priceless, but that's true wisdom. And that's what I'm bringing back into this space with, as a human being, integrity, principles, morals, values, systems, like the culture of that in everything I do, not just business, because my life is the business. My time and energy on earth is my business. It's my fucking business to know it. And I am going to expose the bullshit. And there's a lot of it. And I think when you strip someone back of what they're known for, put everyone in a room, you strip them back for what they're known for, you strip them back for any following, any money that they have. Put men and women in a room. The most powerful individuals in that room are always the most self-aware, the most aligned, the most strong-spirited individuals. And we're missing that. We're missing a lot of that in the space. And I'm looking to bring that and raise that awareness and standard. Because if you guys are on the receiving end of a sales professional, I can't get over this one. That is acting confused around you. I'm going to end it with this. But this is literally what people are out there making millions teaching. Yeah. So this is it. Imagine you're a human being that's too fucking stupid to realize, because this is the notion and narrative. But you get your sales rep that comes on, and you're on Zoom, and maybe you're about to put 10K down, and they're like, "Hey, how are you today? Yeah, is your mic working? This is what I'm doing, this stupid fucking weird garbage, is a technique that someone's out there teaching, is to act confused. And the act of confused is a technique to get the prospect or the other human being on the other side to give you more information, to kind of fill the space. Everything about that is the same bullshit. It screams to me politician energy. It screams to me where you go to get your fucking World Economic Forum training. Yeah. How we speak to crowds, things that we use, how we influence masses. Like, it works for a lot of dumb cunts. It does. It's just the way of the world. There's a lot of dumb cunts out there. But when you got someone that's about to make a 10K investment and they're not a dumb cunt, and because what's been taken also just way out of context, and I'm saying this because I've seen people do this, and they go, so work a little bit less. This doesn't make sense to you guys. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Maybe you're part of the problem. But if anyone ever comes to me and starts speaking in this disingenuous, confused manner, like they're using methods and techniques, and I see that, first of all, two things that are going to happen. Immediately, I'm not taking them seriously. I understand what they're doing. I don't trust them. I don't connect to them. I'm not even interested in being around them anymore. The second thing is, I'm going to call them on that. I'm going to pull them up on it. I'm going to be like, are you using Jeremy Miner's confused tone? And I'm going to see what they do. Because if I ever get pulled up on any technique or method, I can't think of, like, I've learned a lot over time. I've learned a lot that is naturally ingrained into me, but everything's authentic. Like, I don't plan anything. I don't plan these streams. And like, I run a food business, literally called The Secret Food Club, because I never planned what to cook. I made it up on the day. I had a business, boy, it was a Secret Food Club. They'll come over to me and I'd cook 7 courses and I had no idea what they were going to eat. The Secret Food Club. I was a DJ. I never planned sets. Never. I'm a musician at heart. No traditional music theory background. Nothing. Me naturally, just naturally, is this individual that fully leans on this authentic, impromptu, spontaneous improvisation. I really like the natural element of it. And it doesn't always have to be like that. But we've got to highlight all this other bullshit in the market, if you ask me. You've got to get rid of it. And that's one of the missions that I'm on, is to raise people's fucking self-awareness and get us out of this fucking bubble where people can see sales as actually one of the most powerful skills. Understanding how to communicate with human beings, how to listen, how to speak, how to ask questions, how to understand them. That will help you in any other area of your life, because life pretty much is relationships. And on that note, I'm going to end that here. So first of all, big up to everyone on Rumble. Yeah, we've got Truckmaster in the chat. I don't know if you're still there. Truckmaster. I don't know if I can even say your name in this online world. But I know who that is. Good to have you here. I'm closing this up now. I went on a right rant, Truckmaster. A right rant today. And if you want to watch this back, it's going to be up in, 10 minutes? Or maybe you can watch it back right now. But I'm always going to end with a tune. And the tune that you're going to hear me play out is my tune. Again, more intellectual property, more original, pioneering. Wisdom Culture is way more than just something that we're building hands-off sales departments and teaching you how to close deals without pressure. No, we're a brand, and we're coming strong. To everyone in the room, appreciate you guys showing up. You guys at home, can't see this. I've got a room, maybe like 30, 40 people here. Appreciate you guys, yeah? All the Serbians out here to watch me in Serbia. Got any questions? Send me a message. If not, go to wisdomculture.biz. Again, going to play out the track. Peace and love. Never act confused. Be a great human being. And allow God to take care of the rest.